Okay, all right, all right. A lot of you have said, Bill, through the years, the magazines you worked for, they know that some of the quotes and things were embellished, and some of the news wasn't actual news, but it helped along the storylines. And they've said to me, why don't you do this on a video report every once in a while? And I said, the few times I did it, the other fans would say, we don't want to hear that BS. And they would complain and moan and everything. But now more, I'm getting, more often than not, I'm getting fans IMing me, emailing me, say, come on, go back to the old magazine style reports like I used to do at Pro Wrestling This Week on TV, and report things that way in the old Kayfabe style. So this is a test. Let me see how you like this, all right? So we'll mark this right now as a test in 5, 4, 3, 2. Hello everyone, this is Bill Apter reporting down here at Apter's Alley with the Bill Apter Report. SummerSlam, the worst thing that ever happened to the Mysterio family. It was horrible what Seth Rollins, the Monday Night Messiah, did to Dominic Mysterio. Murphy also helping out in the process. Mysterio's son, Rey Mysterio's son, Dominic, was not ready in any way, shape, or form to handle the onslaught brought on by Rollins and Murphy, especially after the match. And who knows what they would have done had Dominic not stopped them from going up the ramp when Dominic's mother, Angie, was coming down toward the ring. We don't know what would have happened. I do know from a close source of the Mysterio family, they told me that Angie was actually ready to go down there and get involved in the match. Now, we don't know if she's had any kind of training in pro wrestling or what would have happened, but I could only see kendo sticks whipping the mother of Dominic Mysterio. To take a set of handcuffs and lock up Dominic's father, Rey Mysterio, when he was trying to help his son was another thing that was just absolutely horrible. My advice, personally, to the Mysterio family is, Dominic, you got the height, you got some of the skills, but you're not ready yet. Your father has done a good job with training you. However, we think, the staff of One Wrestling Bill Apter Report, thinks that perhaps you should find a trainer who is not related to you to be able to fine-tune what your father taught to you, Dominic. But once again, you were not ready for this challenge, and I'm really surprised that Rey Mysterio Jr. let his son go forward into this total mess that has caused the Mysterio family so much anguish. I don't ever want to see that again. In other news, speaking about disgusting and injuries, did you see what Brody Lee did to Cody Rhodes? Of course, he won the TNT Championship from him, but in the brutal, wicked way that he did it. When you talk about brutality in professional wrestling, right now, there is no one on the wrestling scene as brutal as Brody Lee, and that again was demonstrated by his vicious attack on Cody Rhodes. Cody had defended the TNT Championship proudly for about 19 weeks, I believe it was, and he accepted all challengers, a lot of them from the independent scene. But I knew before he got into the ring with Brody Lee that this was going to be trouble. But I didn't know that he would be beaten so severely. And then after the match, to add insult to injury, his entire faction coming out beating the crap out of Cody. Cody taken out on a stretcher, Brody Lee and his guys throwing him off the stretcher and attacking him again, and then going after Brandy and attacking Arn Anderson. Arn Anderson, one of the original toughest guys in the entire world of pro wrestling, being brutalized by Brody Lee and the Dark Order. Somebody's going to pay for this. Yes, Cody gave the thumbs up, like he was all right, but the AEW commission has got to do something to stop the ugly attacks perpetrated by Brody Lee after the match had ended. I got to tell you something. Through all the years that I was watching wrestling, and I still do, I have not been intimidated or feared any kind of bad guy as much as I fear Brody Lee during that match. The choke slams, which everything was just brutal. The way he manhandled Cody Rhodes. I don't know who can be a successful challenger to Brody Lee except one guy, and this is what I have heard in the grapevine. This is what I've heard in the grapevine. Somebody told me that the only guy who could probably defeat Brody Lee is someone who used to have a very special day in the WWE, and that is Rusev. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Again, I'm taking editorial license here. Can you imagine this clash with Brody Lee, the TNT champion, on one side, and Rusev, who never was able to reach his full potential in the WWE, and he's just ready to break out, the two of them against each other? I think it would be fantastic. In other news today, when I'm recording this, August 24th, 2020, is the birthday of one Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Yes, Vince McMahon, the man who discovered sports entertainment, WWE. Happy birthday, Vince McMahon. That's not fake news. Jerry the King Lawler is celebrating his 50th year in the world of professional wrestling. If you go to the Facebook page of USA Championship Wrestling, you will see the amazing array of stars that will be in Jackson, Tennessee at the ballpark to honor Jerry the King Lawler later on in September. You can get tickets to this. There will be social distancing. It should be an incredible event. I asked Jerry the King Lawler, they're celebrating your 50th anniversary in the wrestling business, and Jerry Lawler told me that age doesn't mean anything to him. He might want to get a shot at the WWE title in the near future. So that's it. That's the magazine-style Kayfabe report for August 24th, 2020. In real news, this is real, I am now hooked up with a new magazine that will be coming out of the United Kingdom. The people at Inside the Ropes, they're thousands and thousands of fans. Kenny McIntosh, their podcast, their amazing podcast. James Dixon, so many other people. They are now coming out with a magazine called Inside the Ropes Wrestling Magazine, and I will have a column every month, and it won't be kayfabe stories. It'll be the facts. Not like this entire report. Although, wouldn't you want to see Brody Lee against Rusev? I know I would. Okay, so let me know, and please go to InsideTheRopesMagazine.com to find out more about how you can subscribe. All right, so that's it. The first Kayfabe report for today. Let me know down here at OneWrestlingVideo.com, and please subscribe to OneWrestlingVideo.com. Keep us alive here. Make sure you subscribe and leave your comments down in the comments box here, and I'll see you eventually at the matches, and that's not kayfabe at all. All right.